Rams house. You know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast. Hit like, share, and link. Whose house? Rams house. You know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast. Home of the champions. Whose house? Rams house. You know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast. Hit like, share, and link. Whose house? Rams house. You know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast. Home of the champions. When I need a scoop on the league, I hit up the dream team. Golden Rams Buzz.
Big shout out to our sponsor, La Brea Bakery Bread. With the holidays coming around, make sure you hit up your local retailers. Take and bake with La Brea Bakery Bread. Welcome to another episode of the Golden Ram Buzz Podcast with Damon and Sal. As you can see, my partner Sal is not with me today. He's dealing with some busy schedule for him right now. So I'm rolling solo. Big shout out to my podcast partner, Sal Martinez. Golden Ram Buzz Podcast is sponsored by Recover 180, La Brea Bakery Bread, and Navarro's Taqueria. Today, our guest will be Christopher Shai from the 916 Booster Club. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the Rams won a cold and gloomy game in New York yesterday. MetLife Stadium, they win 19-9 and defeat the Jets. It was a cold 21 degrees type temperature game. It was muggy, slugfest. I've never seen a 19-9 score in a long time, but the Rams won. That's all that counts. Myself and my podcast partner Sal are both season ticket members, so we both got I got selected to go to the Cosm, which is a beautiful venue next to SoFi, next to Intuit Dome. The Cosm, it's a beautiful event. Season ticket holders were there. Big shout out to the Rams. Big shout out to the Rams staff. Big shout out to Cosm. We even had the voice of the Rams there, Sam Lagana. So thank you so much, Cosm. All the season ticket members I saw, big salute to you. Let me go over the statistics for the game. The Rams won 19-9. The Rams are now in first place, solely in first place. They are now 9-6 with 2 games to go. The Rams control their own destiny. If the Rams win the rest of their games, we're going to have a home playoff game. It's currently right now we're the 3 seed with only Detroit and Philadelphia ahead of us. But in our division, we lead in division because we won and Seattle lost to Minnesota. Also, the Niners are eliminated from the playoff as well as the Arizona Cardinals. So bang, bang, no playoff gang. It don't look so pretty for United fans, does it? All that talking, all that hooping and hollering, all that boombox carrying in the locker room. Nada. You're going to be home watching my Rams in the playoffs as a 3 seed, hopefully a 3 seed or a 4 seed. But guess what? We're going to make the playoffs. This week, prime time, Saturday, we play Arizona Cardinals. I need all the Ram fans there. Show out, show up and show out, because that game when the Rams win, we're going to be celebrating the NFC Division Championship right there. Let me go over some stats. So the Rams win 19-9. Kyron Williams had 23 carries for 122 yards and 1 touchdown. He was grinding out that game. He was kicking ass. He was a man. It was just a great game. The Rams now have a 5-game road winning streak. They beat Seattle 26-20 in overtime. They beat the Pats 28-22. They beat the Saints 21-14. They beat the Niners 12-6. And then yesterday beat the Jets 19-9. Also, it's also the 3rd straight game, no sacks allowed. Let me repeat that. The 3rd straight game, no sacks allowed for this offensive lineman. The Rams are the healthiest they've been all year. And also, you saw that tight end, our boy return, caught the touchdown pass. He's back, man. We're back. The Rams offensive line, stellar performance. We're striving at the right time, because when you go into the playoffs, you want to go in there healthy, and everything is going great for the Rams. They're now, like I mentioned earlier, 9-6, the 3rd seed in the division. These are the division standings right now for the Rams in the NFC West. The Rams are 9-6. Seattle's 8-7. The Cards 7-8 eliminated, and the Niners are 6-8 also eliminated. So I'm not even going to waste my breath anymore with those teams. So as we see now, this Thursday, Seattle plays Chicago, which is 8-7. If they lose, you already know what that means. I think if they lose and the Rams win or something like that, I got to check it. But I think if they lose, they're out of the division race. I got to check that. But like I said, the Rams control their own destiny. Just win this game Saturday. There's nothing to worry about. I don't want the Rams even thinking about that negative, losing and then Seattle. I don't want none of that last game of the year for the – no. I want the Rams to win this Saturday, because I want to be in those stands celebrating, and the next day buying NFC West merchandise. As of now, this is the NFC West playoff picture. Thank you to our sponsor, Recover 180. You can get Recover 180 on Amazon and at your local retail stores as well as the tailgate. The Lions, the number 1 seed. Philly, the number 2 seed. Rams, the 3 seed. Atlanta, the 4 seed. Minnesota, the 5 seed. Green Bay, the 6 seed. And Washington, as of now, the 7 seed. If the playoffs started today, the Rams would have a home game against the Green Bay Packers. If the Rams were the 4 seed, they would host a home game against the Minnesota Vikings. The Rams are just hot right now. I love our team. I remember the Rams started off 1-4, and it was like I mentioned before, people want to give up on the team or this and that, or Sean McVay needs to give up play calling, and Chris Shula doesn't know what he's doing. And like me and my partner Sal have mentioned the whole year, this NFL is a marathon, not a sprint. So you're going to take your time. You're going to figure it out. We have a young team. We have a young defense. They have to come together. They have to know about football. Some of these guys have only been in the league 1 or 2 years. I think we have one of the youngest teams in the NFL. So now they're gelling. Things are going great. You saw Jared Verse get that turnover on Aaron Rodgers, a strip sack. In my opinion, Jared Verse is the defensive rookie of the year. That's just my thoughts. I don't know who else is in the running for that. Last year, I believe Kobe Turner got robbed, but that's okay because Jared Verse is going to get that award this year, bar none. But, yeah, Coach McVay is doing a great job. Chris Shula is doing a great job. The defense is kicking ass. They're holding opponents. The only hiccup we had was that shootout with Josh Allen. Of course, Philadelphia came in. But, we're doing what we got to do. We're getting hot and healthy at the right time. And this is just a great game. I mean, you guys saw it. They came in. Aaron Rodgers had our number a couple times. Last time we beat Aaron Rodgers, I believe he was with the Green Bay Packers at the Coliseum when Ty Montgomery fumbled. But he's had our number. He beat us in the playoffs, and that doesn't matter no more. Aaron Rodgers, his season's been over for a minute this year. I'm worried about the Rams, and it's going to be a dogfight. The Cardinals are not going to give up. I think they're going to come in. I think he's going to play. I know he got banged up a couple times, quarterback. So Kyler Murray, just be there, support. I heard the Rams want everybody to wear blue, and I'm going to be there early. This Saturday, we're going to tailgate. Make sure you guys check our tailgate out. We're going to be there from noon to 4:30 tailgating in the J-Lot. So come by, swing by. And I know Ram fans are hyped up, energetic, because we're about to win the division. Can you see this happening after starting the season 1-4? The Rams are 1 victory away, in my opinion, from winning the division. This is just what a turnaround this season has been, man. And just the tweets I'm getting, the text messages, and what a turnaround it is. That's what I'm saying. Football is a marathon, not a sprint. The season never ends after 1-4. You play 17-game schedule. And I said beginning of the year, Rams are going to go 12-5. I was wrong, but hey, I'll take 11-6. I mean, 1 game off and win the division. Hey, I'll take that. I just said they're going to win the division because that's just the positivity that I have about my team. So, yeah, so make sure you guys are there this Saturday. With that being said, we're going to take a commercial break, and I'm going to introduce my guy from the 916 Booster Club in Sacramento, Christopher Shai. Thank you to Navarro's Taqueria for feeding us. What up, Rigo? Thank you for the tortas. Our next guest is a founder and president of the 916 Booster Club. This gentleman travels from Sacramento for every Rams home game. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Christopher Shai.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
So
glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Christopher, what made you a Rams fan? Like, talk to me. You're in Sacramento. What made you a Rams fan?
So my family, my father's family, is from Los Angeles. And growing up as a young child, all they talked about was Rams, Dodgers, Lakers. So those quickly became my teams. More so the Rams because of the uniforms, the colors. My favorite color is yellow. I just immediately attached to them. So I always tell everybody I'm born in horns.
That's funny. Now, did you attend any Rams games at Angel Stadium or LA or anything like that growing up?
I did, but not until my teen years.
Okay.
I was able to attend a game at the Big A in 1992. It was Week 16 versus the Falcons. Todd Kitchen took back 2 punts for a touchdown. And before the game, I got to meet Cleveland Gary in person and got an autograph. Great guy.
So Cleveland Gary was number 43, the running back, and then Todd Kitchen was number 81, I believe, correct?
That's correct,
Tight end.
Yeah.
Now, who's your favorite all-time Ram and why?
Favorite all-time Ram? Growing up, it was Jerry Gray, man. It was my junior high and high school years. I played ball. I played corner just like him. I looked up to him, and he was a flat-out baller. He was a corner that could hit. He could cover. He was a former safety in college, And I believe the Rams tried to move him back to safety after the knee injury. He had a bad knee injury. He was the MVP of the 90 Pro Bowl. And like next year, I think he hurt his knee. But I always looked up to him and his game, modeled myself after him. And I went on to be a great coach in the NFL too.
Now, okay, you've attended the games. Do you have a favorite game you attended at the Big A?
Not the Big A. Being in Sacramento my whole life, because most of us up here are transplants.
Okay.
Week 16 of 1988, Rams are playing the 49ers at Candlestick for all those old school Rams fans. And I had seats next to Jackie Slater's wife. It was interesting. I didn't know who she was at first, but she introduced herself. The family was great. We watched the game. The Rams kicked some butt. Kevin Green had like 4.5 sacks.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we won the game, and we went to the wild card game at Minnesota the following week, and we lost. Tough loss.
Now,
That was probably my favorite game, yeah.
What's your favorite game you've witnessed live?
Oh, that's easy, brother. NFC Championship game against the Niners. Hey, I'll tell you the story. We're at the gate to get into the pink lot at, this got to be 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, every group was there representing.
Yeah.
And I believe we were all doing shots at 6:15. Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that day? I was there at 5:15 in the morning by the Costco line.
Yeah.
I was the first one on my line. I was there at 5:15 in the morning. I was like, why am I here? But it was just emotional because you're playing the Niners. You know if the Rams win, they're going to have technically a home Super Bowl, and it's just amazing. Did you attend the Super Bowl as well, or?
I did not get picked for the Super Bowl. I had a huge party here in Sacramento, was interviewed on the news and hosted a big party here. But let me get back to the championship game. Think about that. We were there 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
I probably didn't leave the stadium until 10 p.m. that night. I mean, that was a celebration. That was 30 years since the 89 NFC Championship game that I waited for that revenge. You want to talk about sweet. And I remember I took a moment before they opened the gates to the pink lot. I walked all the way into the lake, filmed the waterfall, kind of just said, hey, Lord, we need this one, man. You know what I mean? And I saved that video on my phone, and I can always go back to that moment. It was so special that day. That was almost better than the Super Bowl. I mean, just to beat the Niners. But the Super Bowl, that was a great game, great day.
Let me ask you a question. Tell us about the 916 Booster Club. I see you online. You know, I always say what's up to you in the morning when I can see you. Tell us what the 916 Booster Club is, how you started it. You're the president and founder. Let the people know what it is.
Absolutely. So I had been coming down to the games and seeing everything that was going on. And simultaneously, I see the roll calls on Facebook and social media. There's a lot of fans here in Sacramento, man. And we just didn't have any organization. And when I started going down there and meeting everybody, people really welcomed me in. I saw what they were doing. Now, keep in mind, my whole life, I've been tailgating Raiders games, but with Rams gear on. So it was a fun to party, but they weren't so receptive. But I knew how to tailgate. Right?
Okay,
So I go down there, and I say we officially formed the 2020 season. It was the wild card game at Seattle when Darius Williams had the pick six.
Oh, yeah. I remember against Russell. Yeah.
We decided that we were going to do this, and there was about 3 of us. And that 3 has led to, I have like 8 group texts of 20 on my phone. We have Instagram. We have almost 1,500 people on Facebook. I've got a very good supporting cast because our meteoric rise of numbers, I couldn't do it without my help. And that's Pete Serta, Laura Serta, his wife, Tom Bain, Victor Hernandez. I have to mention all these guys.
Of course. Name them, man.
Yeah, it's a great team. My tailgate crew, which is Eric and Tammy Oliver, Renee, our cook out of Montebello, and Carrie and James, who are transplants. They help with the tailgate. And our motto is to be the friendliest group on Rams Row. We welcome everybody, and we love being there. The atmosphere, the Rams fans who are great. All the other clubs are so supportive and friendly with us, man. We just love it. We eat it up, and we're very thankful.
My question is, what kind of food do you serve, and when can I get some? So tell me what kind of food you serve.
Okay, so we have a 2-meal procedure. Eric does our breakfast. Eric Oliver, he's diehard Rams fan. He works at the Greek Theater, by the way. You got to go check him out.
Oh, don't tell me that. That's my favorite
Yeah.
venue, boy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Eric does our eggs and potato breakfast, sometimes tamales. And then for lunchtime, we really get down because Renee, our cook, he's doing pork bellies. He's doing tri-tip. We got carne asada going. And so most of the time, if you're around our group, it's about the drinks and the shots. But we got meals there that are on point. And people come through and they get a plate, and it's all good. So, like I said, we welcome everybody to stop by and say hi, introduce yourself. We love taking pictures. We love hanging out. We love hooking people up. And we welcome and embrace everybody to come and have a good time.
Big shout to the Golden Ram Barbershop. For all your crispy cuts, hit up Sal Martinez. So my guy, Big Rob, had your 916 jersey on. He was wearing. I go, Big Rob, where'd you get that? Who made that? He's like, oh, Throwback Joe. All because I saw that 916 he was wearing. I ended up hitting that Throwback Joe. Big shout out to Calvin. He was a guest on a previous podcast. I've ordered like some. Man, he gave me like 3 different jerseys. I'm about to order some more, man. But yeah, I seen that 916 jersey. Big shout out to Big Rob as well. I seen that it stood. I'm like, man, where'd you get that from, Big Rob? And he just, I love what you guys do. You guys come. What time do you leave? Okay, you come from Sacramento. How long does it take to get to SoFi? What time do you leave Sacramento? Like 1 a.m? What time do you leave to come down?
I'll define what a Rams game weekend is. When
Please
I get
do.
off work at 5 o'clock, I have a window and glass business, and I have my truck is loaded with all my tools and stuff. When I get home from work Friday, I have to unload everything. Now, keep in mind, Thursday I went and bought all the liquor, all the sodas, all the food. I've already bought all that and packed it. So
Okay.
when I get home from work Friday, I unload everything and load all the tailgate stuff back up. Now I got a full truck loaded up, and I'm gassed up. I wake up early Saturday morning, sometime between 4 and 5 o'clock when my body's feeling ready. I jump in that truck. I live right off of 5 here in Sacramento. I live in Elk Grove, for those that don't know, southernmost part of Sacramento. So I jump on 5, and it's open road from there. It's taken me 5 hours to the minute from my house to SoFi Stadium. That's my record.
So do you show up to SoFi the night before the game day?
Oh, so if I leave Saturday morning, like 4 or 5 a.m., it takes me 5 hours to get there. So let's say I'm pulling in at 10:30 a.m.
Okay.
First thing I do is I'll get gas on Century Boulevard, and there's a liquor store there that he's always got Rams bottles and stuff that he'll sell to me. I want to shout out his name, and I can't remember it right now, but he'll hook me up with whatever. And then the next thing I do is I go to Ross and Marshall's on Century. I buy all kinds of Ram stuff.
I like that.
I bring it back to Sac for the people. And then I always hit the store, the SoFi store.
Okay.
So that's about noon or 1.
Okay.
As soon as I leave the SoFi store, we're hitting somewhere for lunch. A lot of us will meet up, Lalo's on Century Boulevard or Fiesta Martin's right there in Inglewood. So by that time, it's 3 o'clock. We're checking into the hotel, kind of unwinding. And then our normal thing is we'll meet up like at Tony P's in Marina Del Rey about 6 o'clock. We all hang out, have some drinks and food, and just talk about the next day's game. Then we head back to the hotel, knock out, get up, and are back in line at 5:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. This is for like a 1 o'clock Sunday game. And that's when I just get to sit there and talk to the real diehard fans who are
I saw that.
early.
I talked to you before. I remember a couple times I talked to you right there.
3 years going back, man. We run into each other. Everybody talks and hangs out, and we diagnose the game. What did we think? What happened last week? And that's how I got to know a lot of the really diehard. I've met some great people. And there's some, I used to think I was the only Rams fan in the world growing up. There's nobody else up here, man. Straight up. But as time went on, I have met some guys that I would equal or maybe surpass me. In the whole world, if there's a list of 50 diehard top Rams fans, I know I'm on there somewhere, but I have met some guys like right on, man. These are some diehard fans, and I love it. And that's where I want to be every game day, surrounded by those guys, win or lose.
Now, let me ask you, did you go to the Coliseum games as well when they came back?
You know, so I went during the 18 season, and my favorite one that year was last week of the year, we played the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
And I got there early and chatted it up with a couple players. Ethan Westbrooks, who's from West Sac.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, and saw golf before the game. We ended up beating the Niners. And boy, that was a rowdy halftime at the Coliseum, that game. Yeah, I would fly into Burbank for that one, catch the Rams World Tour bus with Chris Ceballos, catch the bus to the Coliseum, and got to meet. That's when I really started meeting everybody, walking
cool.
around and hanging out, and that really laid the foundation for what I wanted to do.
Well, this Saturday, you're going to be there, Roar Blue, because we're about to celebrate from what time? I'm probably going to get there at 8 because the game starts, tailgate starts at 12, so I'm ready to celebrate,
right.
man. I know you said you drank at like 6 o'clock last time. Hopefully this time you're going to be drinking at 8:02 a.m.
Yeah.
Staying after because nobody saw this coming, man. Like a lot of people, want to give up hope when they're 1-4, doom and gloom, but nah, man. Us true Ram fans know. Anything, let the people know your social handles where they can find you. Anything,
Absolutely.
your business that you talk about, your window business, please promote yourself, man. Tell us
Absolutely. So my business is Advanced Windows and Glass here in Sacramento, and it is the main sponsor for our group, which is the 916 Rams group. That 916 is the area code here in Sacramento. So I use those numbers to represent the area, to let people know where we're from. That came in handy last week when we did a bus trip to Levi's Stadium, and I put the flagpole up with the 916 banner. All the Rams fans could say, "Hey, I seen it from far away, man." So we had all the Rams fans there. We represented hard. Niners fans were cool. Some of them tried to give us some,
of course,
but nah, we weren't hearing it, man. I was yelling sweep all the way in, all the way out. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Our 916 group, we've pulled people from all over Northern California to come to the watch parties, hang out, playoff parties. We really tried to be a beacon up here for everybody. And we talked to Dan August, the rep of the Rams, our ticket reps, and let them know what we're doing. We keep in touch with them via email and stuff. You can find us on 916 Rams on Facebook and Instagram. You're welcome to join in, and we welcome everybody. That's our motto, to be the friendliest, most welcoming, embracing group of everybody, man. And we love it. It's been a big hit, a huge success. And anybody that wants to join or come hang out, you're always welcome, just like every other group.
Ladies and gentlemen, founder and president of the 916 Booster Club, Christopher Shai. Christopher, thank you for joining us. See you at SoFi. Hold on, before you go, whose house?
Rams house!
Whose house?
Rams house!
One more time, Chris. Whose house?
Rams house!
That's what I'm talking about. See you at SoFi Saturday, Christopher
All right,
Shai.
we'll see you Saturday,
yes,
brother.
sir.
Thank you very much, man.
No problem.
Love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Big shout out to Mas Altos Creative Agency. What's up, Angel? Thank you to our guests, Christopher Shai, 916. I met him a couple years ago. We've been trying to get this together, and I'm glad he finally came on. And I see this guy like 5:15, 5:30 in the morning. I walk over there to the side, before they open the gates and, talk Rams, talk with him, talk about the game, what's going to happen, how he's doing in Sacramento and all that stuff. But, big shout out to Christopher Shai. Now we're going to transition to the AFC playoff picture. As of now, these are the seeds. Number 1, Chiefs. 2, Bills. 3, Steelers. 4, Houston. 5, Baltimore. 6, Chargers. And 7, Denver. If the playoffs started today, Buffalo will play Denver. Pittsburgh will play the Chargers. Houston will play Baltimore. I don't know how that's going to look. I said beginning of the year, it would be KC and the Rams in the Super Bowl. KC's going for a historic three-peat. Yeah, they're not blowing teams out. It doesn't really matter. They're in first place. The best record in the NFC and AFC combined is the Chiefs. They're looking good. They're winning games, so that's all that matters. So I see them running through having a couple. They're going to have the first round bye, but everybody thinks it's going to be them versus Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. I don't care who meets up as long as it's the Rams. Buffalo, looking good. They beat the Patriots. Josh Allen on the MVP race. They're trying to give it to him. Hey, he can win the MVP as long as he's won the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh, they lost 2 in a row. They're going a little scared, but, we'll see what they got going on. They're still first place in the division with Baltimore. Houston, Texas. We're going to see if they play Baltimore in the first round. That'd be a great matchup. The Chargers won the last couple games, so they're the 6th seed, and I wonder if there could be their SoFi Invitational. Can you imagine the Chargers and the Rams in the Super Bowl? When the Rams beat the Chargers in the Super Bowl, that'd be to kick them out. No, just kidding. So, this Saturday, don't forget, you guys, Rams, Cardinals. If the Rams win, they're NFC champions of the division. So you show up early, show out. We're going to have a huge tailgate. Big shout out to my tailgate team, my cousin Malik, my boy Vince, Fernando the Cook, Fat Albert, DJ Illmatic, Can't wait for this. You guys show up, show out, come to the tailgate. We'll be at the J-Lot. Look for the balloons. Big shout out to Mas Altos Entertainment. Big shout out to my podcast partner, Sal. Big shout out to our new sponsor, Cielo Ramen and the unique Mexican flavors. With that being said, another episode of Going Around Buzz Podcast. Whose house? Rams house. Whose house? Rams house. See you at SoFi. Introducing a new thing coming to the tailgate. La Rapidita Michelada. And you guys know I don't speak Spanish, so I'm probably saying it wrong, but that's okay because you guys know how to pronounce it. So come to the tailgate, get your La Rapidita Michelada. The Roadrunner.
Whose house? Rams house. You know who we rollin' with. Rams Buzz Podcast. Hit like, share, and link. Whose house? Rams house. You know who we rollin' with. Rams Buzz Podcast.